Hello everyone. It is a little bit hot today, but nevertheless it is again absolutely lovely here in Thailand, and it is also hot because today I will try to answer a really hot question that is burning under the nails of many of the artists. It is the question, what art should I actually sell? And of course it is a very difficult question to answer, and there are possible a lot of different possibilities to answer this, but I will try to stick with what I actually saw and experienced as the most efficient, most successful path. Because actually when you are looking at the artists who are very successful in the art market, in the artistic world, they are using two different approaches that I want to introduce today to you. And the first one is, the first thing that we should actually get out of the way is a certain myth that it is actually the art you are selling is something that will happen by coincidence, something that will one day just appear. And I think it is the worst thing that an artist can actually do to his or her art career, to let it happen by default. Because when you are just lucky and you have sold a picture, you have actually no control over your development. So actually by default selling your art, and if you manage to sell some of your artworks, perhaps congratulations, but nevertheless without knowing how you are selling it or how you are picking this art, it is, I think, one of the last smart decisions for the future of your art. Because once you have figured out what art you should sell and you can prove this in the market, you are trying it, and then you know, is this the kind of art that you can sell? This is giving you a norm or control, a direction for your art in the future. So you are winning on both sides. You are knowing which art is successful in the market, and also you are knowing in which direction you should develop your art. So let me introduce to you the two different approaches. The first approach is starting with the artist, and the second approach is actually starting with the art market, especially with the art buyers and the audience. I think the first one that I want to introduce to you is the most successful one in the long run. So if you are artists who are seeking actually to have success over a long time, to really build a heritage with your art, to really develop your artistic vision and so on, you should start with this approach. And this approach is actually, when you are right in the beginning, or if you are already having some of your artworks, you have some a little bit knowledge of your of the possible art market, this is, I think, something you should try. I have made a graphic about this. I hope you can see it, because it is a strong reflection, and it is starting in three phases. It is starting with the artworks that you are having. From this you can develop certain groups or series of your artworks, and then you are developing a main topic. So what what is this approach all about? Right now, most likely you have a lot of artworks, different artworks. You have tried different things. Perhaps you have also developed a certain series of artworks, but nevertheless they are lying in front before you, and nevertheless you are knowing right now that certain artworks are belonging more or less to certain values that you are having, or are part of a certain artistic vision that you are behind your art, that is motivating you actually to produce this art. There are certain criteria which are not only present in one artwork, but are present in different artworks. It can be also, if you have no clue what the factor is, it can be something like certain kind of material, certain preference of color, but more or less try to think about the values or the factors or artistic vision that could be understood not only by you, but also through an audience. And with this, you are collecting, you are putting, if you like, you can spread it here, like when you have something, a bigger place, spread all your artworks around and then put them together into groups and that are representing certain values, certain artistic vision and so on. And look if there is some collusion between those groups. Is there overall a bigger topic, or so to say a higher idea, or even a higher artistic vision behind all the things you are doing? And if you can try to narrow it down, narrow it down to a certain motto, narrow it down to an artistic manifesto even. What is this all about? It is all about crystallizing something that is common to your artworks. And once you have figured out this artistic, higher artistic vision, this artistic manifesto that you are having, you can start to see in certain artworks how good they are representing it. You can put all the artworks back and try to figure out which one is having the essence most in it. And then you are putting together all the artworks who are part of this stronger artistic topic, part of this vision together. And then you are seeing what your art is all about, why we are doing this. First of all, when you are clear about what you are offering, it is much more clearer who can you offer it to. And the second reason for this approach, and I think this is the most important, is that actually knowing your artistic topic, knowing your artistic vision or your artistic manifesto is something that will generate energy in you. These are the topics, these are the values, the content that you are very passionate about, that you have strong feelings about. And this is giving you two advantages. The first one, over a long time of your future, you are able to produce further artworks about this topic. And the second one, when you think about it, selling art is really an emotional decision for the audience. And what actually often people are, what you are making it easier to buy your art is your passion about the content of your art, the values of your art, your artistic manifesto. This is making your art strong in the market because you are standing behind these artworks. And this second advantage is also giving you the possibility to stand through all the struggles that you will face ahead in the art market, and this will give you the power to really develop yourself, to really proclaim your art even. So this is your artistic vision. This is actually the things you want to say. And when you want to say something, when you are passionate about this, you are more willing to approach actually the art market and talk to people about the art. And selling art is nothing more than a guided conversation with people in which you are, on the one hand, convincing them about your values that you have, and on the other side, you are also magnetic because you are so passionate, because you are authority about those values that are in your art. So this is the first approach, how you can actually find out what art to sell, and it is making you in the long run so much easier, because once you understand what your art is all about, what you are passionate about, what is your artistic manifesto, and what are the values of your art, it is making also so much easier to find the people out there who are also interested in those values in your art. And now let's go to the second approach. This second approach is more for people who right now are having an opportunity in the art market. Let's say you are right now in a certain surrounding, you are in a certain group of people that are already having certain interests, certain values. Starting with something, perhaps you are a part of a country club, of a golf club, and the people are having certain values, or you are part of a group that has natural protection and environment protection as a value. So you are already in a group of people who are sharing and are passionate about certain values. And if you are in this position, you can start to approach the other way around. So you are starting now with the audience and with their values. And because you are part of this group of people, most likely you are also very passionate about those values and about this topic. So to say, it is easy for you to make this topic the topic of your art, your artistic manifesto. And backwards engineered, you can imagine that actually for this artistic manifesto, for this artistic topic, there could be a series of paintings, pictures, some compositions of music, whatever you are doing as a creative. And you can decide then actually if you right now have a series, some paintings, some artworks that are fitting in this series. So you are spreading all your artworks before you, and we are rethinking your art actually under this aspect, under this topic of art, and picking the right ones. And in this you are collecting a series of paintings that will be immediately fit for the audience you are having. And this is the way you are choosing actually your art. This has the advantage that this approach has the advantage, I think, that you are already seeing your art buyers, and you are already, you know, for what kind of person you are picking the art you want to sell. It has also the second advantage, that actually knowing the topic, knowing the audience and what they are passionate about and so on, you can also produce artworks that will fit to this with this audience, with this special art marking you are heading to. But, and this is a big but, it has the disadvantage that you are only passionate for the topic that you are sharing with this people. And in my experience, such a motivation has the disadvantage that it is something that is more coming from the outside. And over a longer time, I have seen this in artists, it is more what the artist has as a spark of creation, as a spark of genius, that is giving the momentum for momentum and motivation for a much more longer time. Because the disadvantage starting with the audience is also, should the audience change, you are starting also, because you are so much involved in this group, you are starting also to feel perhaps different about the values, and in this way you can get demotivated, and then it is not such a strong motivation to stand through a longer process. But nevertheless, no matter in which way you are deciding, starting with yourself and what you are having and with your values, or starting with your audience, it is coming down to figuring out really what is communication, what is a good medium transmitter, how to put it in other words, what will make the people, what will move the people. It is moving, you are nevertheless also a human, it is moving already you, and find the things that will also move other people, because this is all what art is about. It is a communication process. It's a communication about a certain values that are finding different vessels. They are finding it in your art. They are finding it in the content that is getting attention. It is finding it in the content that will be talked about in the art market. So think about it as a communication process, as a channel, and whatever it is transmitting certain values, a certain artistic vision, or whatever it is the main point of your art, this is actually the best art you can pick. I hope this was interesting for you, and if you have the time, take your time, look through your all your paintings that you are having, all the ideas that you are having. Are there a series of paintings that are fitting together to a group? Look at the groups. What is the common idea under these groups? What is the bigger vision, the bigger value? And when you have this bigger vision, this topic of your art, you can easily pick which artworks are representing this idea in the best way. And if you think that perhaps they are representing the idea in the best way, but the execution of the artwork, perhaps the material that you have chosen, or the way you have represented this higher idea, this topic, is not good enough, it is worth to rework some of your artworks to really to make a stronger point about the main topic, about the essence, about the higher idea in your art. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci, like in Mona Lisa, even worked over years or decades on one painting to really narrow it down until it is having such a great impact with the audience, even to our day. So it is worth something to try. Nevertheless, I hope you are finding these ideas interesting, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, see you soon. Bye bye.